So if this UFO stuff is actually real, how are they keeping it all a secret? Now, there are definitely still more questions than answers, but we did get a little insight into the culture of suppression around the UFO and UAP topic thanks to an interview last night with Rear Admiral Tim Gallaudet. Tim comes from a science background as an oceanographer, having served both as the acting administrator for NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, as well as the Assistant Secretary of Commerce for Oceans and Atmosphere. And yes, he is of the position that the origins of these objects is non-human in nature.
In 2015, when I was a one-star admiral, I was in charge of a support command of meteorologists and oceanographers that provided weather forecasts for the aircraft carrier strike groups. And the now famous Go Fast video from a Navy F-18 off the Theodore Roosevelt, USS Theodore Roosevelt, I saw that and received that video on the Navy's secret network. Because I was in charge of meteorologists supporting these aviation operations, I received an email from a two-star admiral in charge of the exercise. And he had actually sent it to a number of one- and two-star admirals like me in charge of aircraft carrier strike groups and other support commands. And the title of the email was Urgent Safety of Flight Issue. And in the text, he asked if anybody knew what these objects were. And it was the Go Fast video that was attached. And he said, report to me immediately if you do, because we might have to cancel the exercise because of safety concerns. And of course, once I saw that, I knew immediately what was occurring. This is nothing we could have engineered. And then, interestingly, the next day, that email was wiped from my computer. And
Really?
eventually confirming what was, reported at the
So it just
hearing.
disappeared out of your inbox even?
Yes, exactly. And the inboxes of all the other addies, there were many more, and including my deputy, who was a senior civilian. And so, of course, we believed it was inside some compartmented program, and that video was inadvertently released, and now that's all come out at the hearing.
Interesting. What were you thinking when you first opened that email? Like, were you thinking, God, I don't think this is meant for me? Or were you just surprised by the video?
Well, I thought two things, Brian. First of all, a previous job of mine was the superintendent of the U.S. Naval Observatory, and that is the command in the Navy that's responsible for cataloging star positions and their brightnesses used for satellite navigation. But I had a team of astrophysicists and astronomers, and I learned from them how large the universe is. And we're in a galaxy of 100 to 400 billion stars among an observable universe of over 100 billion galaxies. And it's just very arrogant of us to think we're the only species that's created a means to travel between celestial bodies. So when I saw that, I pretty much, it was confirmation to me that there was some kind of extraterrestrial activity occurring. And again, that's all coming out right now.
Now that's interesting. Tim is just another in a slew of former government officials from within the intelligence community, from within the military, and from within private aerospace that are beginning to come forward now that the stigma around the UFO UAP topic has decreased, and are beginning to speak to their experiences that have led to the situation we're in now. Tim now also serves as a research assistant to the Galileo Project, which was started by Dr. Avi Loeb out of Harvard. It is currently the largest academic study dedicated to detecting objects of non-terrestrial origin using observatories across the world, with the first one being stood up at the Harvard Observatory. As Dr. Avi Loeb would say, the sky is not classified, and we are going to continue to see an increase in academic initiatives outside of the classified world of the military-industrial complex, really pushing forward to gather data sets on this topic. If you're interested in hearing more from the Rear Admiral, there are two interviews that are quite insightful that are available on YouTube. The first one is this interview he did about a month ago with the Good Trouble Show hosted by Matt Ford. And another great one to check out is the interview he did last year with Jay Anderson over at Project Unity. And just last thing here on this video, guys, I've gotten this so many times and it's very funny. I'm not an AI computer generated thing. I'm a person, I'm a real person. I don't know why that's a thing, but no, I'm not AI.